Well, Reds, what is going on? How did you see that one? Well, let's be honest, after about 2 minutes, I didn't see that result coming out of it, but it has finished. Newcastle United 1, Manchester United 4, and back on track, some would say. I think we're all just happy to actually see a win, and a convincing, comfortable win. Yeah, it may have flattered to deceive a little bit towards the end with the goals all going in the last 10 minutes, but let's be honest, the stats came up in the middle of that second half there. United more shots than anyone else in one game this season, and we've seen the games that have happened this season. So let's be honest, we did take our chances in the end. I personally think it should have been done and dusted first half, to be honest. Newcastle just weren't in it. They had no plan. I think Bruce, I can see why the likes of Matthew, who was on in the preview show early on in the week, was complaining about Steve Bruce and his tactics. We cannot complain, really, can we? If that's how it's going anyway. But yeah, I can see you guys all coming jumping in the comments. Do get your comments in. Let me know what you thought of the game. What's going on, man? What's happening, Dan, mate? It was a very good win in the end, people, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It's something we needed. It's something a lot of players needed. I'm looking at it going, Harry Maguire, Imran Bissaka, both needed performances. You know what? But for the fluky goal, which I think David De Gea should have done better on, I didn't really get too flustered at all in terms of what Newcastle offered. Like I said at the start, they were poor. They were really poor. I expected so much more from them tonight. But let's not take away from the dominant performance. Like I said, we had, I think, near like 30-odd shots on goal. So really, we can't be complaining tonight, can we? It's a game that we needed to win. We should win. We have won. We won it comfortably. Few goals going in. I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes is my standout player today. I think some people would pick Mata. It's fair enough. It's how you see the game, but just for the way I like football and how I see football matches, Bruno gets it for me today. There's no bias in that decision at all. I just looked at him going and continuously going. He put more miles in on that pitch than anyone and kept probing, kept trying to play the killer ball. Someone tweeted me literally 5 minutes before he scored the winner, people, yeah, that everything was breaking down through Bruno. Well, I replied straight out and said, no, it's not. And then bang, he comes up, puts the game to bed, job's a good one. Shout out to the unsung hero, Marcus Rashford. Got his goal as well. 2 assists, unbelievable. You know what? He kept going. He's not the centre forward. Well, we all know he's not the centre forward. He's better on the wing. But let's be honest, he did his job. He got his goal in the end, and his involvement in the goals was second to none. Superb. I was calling for it. As soon as we made the substitutions, I knew this game was going to be won, and that's where we won it. That's where it all came about. Pogba's just touch of class in the end. When players are tired and not at him, then it's a different ball game. You could actually see what Ollie was doing there tonight. You could see his plan. I know it wasn't a great plan. It was basically put in energetic players, put in busy players, industrial players in the likes of Fred, McTominay. Let's stay in the game, let's stay alive, and then let's try and hit them and kill them off in the second half. It was very, very similar to how we played it against Brighton in the Carabao Cup. That's how I seen the game going down. We were in it. It was just one of them games where it was just a little bit of a battle. Stay in the game, create what you can. Hopefully you go in 1-0 up or you're in front, and then just bring on the cavalry just to wipe them out. It's literally what happened. Except we didn't obviously think that we were going to get that unlucky goal against us in the first minute. Oh, God, you're thinking the worst, weren't you? Lindelof gets completely done. And, sure, get De Gea. De Gea should have done better with that for me. He pulled himself back out of it with a world-class save in the second half. Didn't really have much to do from there, but in terms of everyone else, was quite solid at the back. Like I said, we didn't really have much to do. We didn't have a lot to do because Newcastle were dreadful. They were absolutely shocking. So, you know what? We were comfortable at the back. Sam Maximin was really ill-effective. He had a couple of good runs in the first half where he picked it up on the edge of his own box, but he can do that all day long there for me. He didn't really get a chance to get at our defence, which showed how much in control of the game we actually was. So I just feel like that game there was ideal for what we needed right now. We needed a whipping boy. I didn't expect it to be that easy, but it turned out to be that way. And you know what? It all looks rosy again for a little bit, doesn't it? We know what's coming ahead, but you know what? for the time being, we just got to enjoy the fact that we just battered Newcastle from the first minute, even though we conceded in the first minute, till the last minute, and we were still going at the end. We're still trying to get the goals in the end. And you know what? I just thought, all in all, we can't really complain much about it. I'm not going to pick out negatives in the game because there really wasn't, apart from the first couple of minutes, like we said. And everyone had an alright game. They did. I thought James probably had his better game that he's had for a while. Although his end product is drastically lacking. But he was industrious for us. He put in a shift. And you know what? He played his part in what was basically, I think, Ollie's new tactic. Like I said, it's just staying in the game and then bringing on cavalry at the end just to finish it off, which is exactly what happened. So for me, I can't really complain about how it went down. In terms of the actual player performances, we went through the back line. There's not much to say. I think Harry Maguire was completely in control. Probably had his best game of the season. His best game for months, in fact. Imran Wan-Bissaka's goal, again, much needed, especially for his confidence going forward. What that can do, God knows. But little things like that and sparks like that work and can work in our favour. So I am buzzing for Imran Wan-Bissaka for that, because he has been completely off the boil. And you know what? I think, looking at it, I say it again, didn't expect it to be that easy, but it was the perfect game that we needed to come back to. I think we've got a bit of a voodoo at Old Trafford at the moment, because we seem to be getting our better performances away from home. So, I mean, it's one of them crazy things. We just seem to be a lot better at home. And I think my bet and my shout for the start of the season was looking good, that I think United will score more goals this season than we have since Ferguson left, because you know we can have games like that, and when we hit our straps we can take anyone down. But we just got to look at it and go, that was Newcastle, so let's not get carried away. We did what we should have done, and we're all happy with the result and happy that we bagged a few goals and can sleep easy for one night. You know what, it's been a long 2 weeks after that Tottenham game, and you know what was it, -5 goal difference from that game going into this. You know what, we didn't really move up the table, did we? But looking at it, it's going, what are we behind now? We're not far away from everyone else. We've got a game in hand and it's not out of the way. Big games coming up, and this is the little boost that we needed going into them. It was a case of, let's just try and get ourselves back up that table point wise, grab some goals if we can. I would have took a 1-0. I said 2-1. I didn't care what the result was, as long as we won, just to give ourselves a bit of relevance in the league table again. And then, you know what, let's see what we can do in these big games coming up now, because there are some seriously huge games coming up. We don't even have to get into them. We all know what's coming. And you look at the games today and you go, right, okay, Liverpool dropped points, Chelsea dropped points, Everton dropped points, Arsenal dropped points. And normally, and I tweeted it out beforehand, I'd be worried, I'd be really happy with how the day's gone in terms of results, but I will wait until about 10 o'clock to say anything positive about it, because we usually just stumble when everyone else stumbles. And I'm looking at Chelsea again. Wow, what is wrong with that team? And that just shows, doesn't it? Exactly, you can have all the chefs, the best chefs in the world, but if they don't agree, then you don't get a good menu, do you? And that's the way Chelsea's breaking down at the moment. And it's not looking good for them in terms of cohesion. It's going to take a bit of time. You know what I mean? This team that United's got, and we all agree is not the best, but we finished third last season. We should be doing a lot better than what we are, and that is more like it in terms of putting a poor team, which Newcastle are, to bed. It's what we should have done. McTominay, well overrated. Just going to get into some of your comments now. I'm just going to bring Imran on, who's just waiting in the wings there to come on as well. Newcastle offered nothing. Matter of fact, mate, 100% agreed. They offered absolutely nothing. They played like their lives depended on it. Gale, yeah, they did. They played a lot better and the energy levels were up. I noticed that, definitely. They were all pressing. They were all closing. They were working as a team. And I said this before, and it's massively important that we just went back to basics and did some simple things. And that's what we did today. And in the end, the cavalry came on, like I said, and we polished off Newcastle. Luke Steele says there that McTominay played well. So it wasn't. I don't think anyone was horrendous tonight. Let's be honest. And yes, it went a little bit short, mate. But you know, it's still a little bit there to play with, isn't there? Welcome to the newest member of Mad Red United as well, Mr. Dan United. Top name, mate. I know you're on to Saeed as well, pal. Thank you for the contribution, mate. And do stay tuned for tomorrow, because you will be in the prize draw for the giveaway, which is all being shouted out for all the members tomorrow. A little bit of a competition there for you guys. I'm just going to bring Imran in just to see what he thought on the game. Imran, are you there, buddy?
I'm here, Adam. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, mate. What did you think of that tonight, mate? It was something that I think we all needed, mate. A bit of a boost.
Fabulous. Fabulous performance from the team. You know, it wasn't a great start, 1-0 down, but we came back to win. And I've been having a lot of debates with my friends about Oli in or out. I'm Oli in. I don't want another manager. I'm tired of this changing managers or whatnot. I just want to stick with one manager and go forward from there. I don't want to change the Poch and all that. I want to stick with this manager. I want to stick with this team and these players. And I'm so happy for Harry Maguire.
He needed it, mate.
Amazing. He was awesome today. I don't know. Every top player goes through dips. You know, he's been through a hard time, and you can see that. You know, and his mind has not been in the right place, but he's a leader. You know. He was amazing today, and you know, once the team settles, you know, Donny van de Beek was amazing. Bruno, that's what Bruno does. Marcus, everyone played well.
Good for them, mate. I'm really pleased for Marcus, because that wasn't it's not his normal position, as we know. Yeah. And you know what? He's got 2 assists. He's got his goal. He's the leading goal scorer again for us this season. And goals from open play. We even missed the penalty, mate. I mean, if we had a goal disallowed, we missed the penalty. It could have been exactly the same as what it was against Spurs, mate, but the opposite way round. That's how dominant we was.
I think with the Spurs game, it was bad, but I think those are just one-off games that I think, you know, the way we lost was you know, it was a bad game, but, you know, it was just one of those one-off games where everything was going to go wrong anyway. Nothing would have changed. But, you know, we've got a couple of hard fixtures coming up, but I think we'll be all right. I think United will be, you know, they've got the right man in place. You know, a man that knows the club, that's building foundations. You know, we're behind this manager. We're behind Manchester United. We're behind Harry Maguire. We're behind the team, and you know, we just want to give positivity to the team. I mean, the United fan base needs to unite. You know, let's all, you know, forget this. You know, I'm a big fan of Saeed. I'm a big fan of yours. The work you guys do is amazing.
Cheers very much, mate.
I think we know. We all want to see United do well, so let's, you know. And to be honest, I've been quiet the whole day because of the results, but now
I said the same, mate. I know.
Some Arsenal fans.
That's it. Imran, thanks very much for coming on, buddy. I appreciate you calling, mate.
Adam, as always. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Bye bye. Top one, Imran there. Happy Red, Ollie in. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I think no one's getting carried away with this result. The fact is, we did what we should always do against teams like Newcastle, and that's all you can do. So you've got to give the right amount of praise for a good performance. It was a very good performance, dominant. And you know what? After that first goal, like I said at the start of this video, it was a case of, it can't get any worse, can it? It really can't get any worse, surely. And it didn't. There's only one way up from when you rock bottom, and there's only one way to go when you rock bottom, and that is up. And that's where we did end up getting at the end of this game. And you know what? There's a few players there, like I said, who needed a game, who needed a solid performance, and a few of them got it. Big shout out to Juan Mata again. A lot of people are giving him praise today. He was excellent alongside Bruno today. Them two were on a wavelength different to everybody else. Now, Mata cannot play every single game, and that probably was the right game for him to play in. Do you give Ollie credit there, or was it sort of like a stab in the dark with him because we were lacking in numbers? Let's be honest, if Martial was fit, we probably wouldn't have seen Mata, would we? And if Greenwood was fit, we probably wouldn't have even seen Dan James, who had his best game for a while. So sometimes it's nice to see some of the squad players come in and actually do well. It's nice to see some of the squad players come in and actually play alongside some of the really good players. Give them their chance next to the quality players, instead of them always playing in a second string team in the Carabao Cup or something like that, where they can't be at their best because no one else around them is on that level. That's what I mean with the likes of Juan Mata. All he needs to continue making big decisions. Donny in. That's the point. Get your comments in on this one, boys and girls. Where does Van der Beek come into that team? If you were starting that game, which player would it be? And do you change the system for Van der Beek? Be interesting to know. Daniel Luciano, starting lineup barring Lindelof and James had a solid game. Yeah, I mean Lindelof was shaky at the start, wasn't he? The way Wilson turned him like he wasn't there was frightening, and he got better in the game. We can't really criticise too much after we won 4-1. It should have been 5-6 easily, but France always comes in with a comment from Aaron Bissaka need more respect on his name. Have Gucci head ban on lock. Best right back for United, mate. There's no one criticising Wan-Bissaka's defensive qualities, and tonight I'm so chuffed for him. Definitely a shout there, Rance, mate, because he got his goal going forward. I just pray that gives him that little bit more confidence, because he was better tonight. It was like the old Wan-Bissaka tonight. And you know what? Little stupid games like this that we say don't mean a lot. It's only Newcastle. It's right, but to some of them players, it can mean an awful lot and be a massive confidence booster going forward. So, you know what? I'm not deflecting it away as it's only Newcastle. There are elements of that, and we're not get carried away. But it's good to know that you can actually bring in when we need it, and Ali needs to learn how to rest some of these players. So he's got Van der Beek and Pogba on the bench tonight. He's got no Martial or Greenwood. So there is an option. There is a squad there that can work in certain games. You know what I mean? We're not going to play the top 6 every single week. So when we come up against games like this, when we need a bit of industry and just a bit of get down and get dirty football, and then we can bring players on when the game's tiring out, this is the big decisions that Ollie has to make. He has to be strong enough to drop the big name players. And you know what? Tonight it didn't look like it was going to work, but in the end, for a game so dominant, possession-wise, shots, everything, you have to say you got it right. And ultimately, the scoreline says everything about result. Possession says a lot, and we dominated the game. We got the goals we deserved in the end. I know it was hairy here and there, but it is 100% the right shout to play a lot of the other squad when some of the big names need resting. And now I don't think Van der Beek needs resting. I think he should be starting a game. But yeah, I was in the bracket of we didn't need this international break. We came out of it worse with what happened with Maguire and stuff. So it does look like it has spun a full 360 and has worked out well for us in the end, which is good. Daniel Luciano, cheers for the super chat, buddy. Lingard needs to take James' place, like below, please. Thank you very much, mate. I will like below. Lingard, God, I don't know. I just don't see him getting in that team. You know what I mean? You're missing the likes of Cavani. You're missing the likes of Martial, Greenwood tonight. 3 forwards there. I know Mata's not going to really be dislodged from the bench if it's a choice between him and Lingard after performances like that. So, I mean, you've got Donny van der Beek on the bench, Pogba on the bench. If you're bringing Lingard in, I don't see where he fits, because I do think that when everyone's fit again, Fred and McTominay will go to the bench, along with Mata, Andy Garlow, Cavani or Martial or Rashford or Greenwood. There's no room for Lingard anymore, is there, mate? And he's back again. McTominay, not Fred, should have come off. Looks solid. I mean, Fred, he's good and he's bad. His tenaciousness, his energy and his interceptions are really, really good. Problem we've got with Fred is I think his passing is still nowhere near the standard it needs to be. He's a bit erratic and rushes his pass a bit. If you could mould Matic into Fred, you've got the perfect player. You really have. But we just need the calmness of Matic with Fred's energy and his just sheer willing, because he does put a shift in every time. So, let me see. You're talking about Lingard there, Daniel, mate. But Adam, he could have been worse than Dan James today. Couldn't have been worse than Dan James. Dan James had an alright game for me today. I'm not going to say he didn't play well. I'm not going to say he is coming straight into this team after that performance. But for Dan James and the way he has been playing, that was better. That's all I will say on that one. Super chat from Jerome T. Green. Always on with the super chats. Cheers, Jerome, mate. Donny's showing his level, absolute levels above Dan James, and he showed why today. Donny needs to start more. You could play Donny in Dan James's position, couldn't you? Jerome, you got a point there, mate, because Donny van de Beek plays out wide for Ajax as well, and he's an option for us there. Yeah, he hasn't got the pace of the likes of Dan James, but his end product is off the scale miles better. Absolutely miles better. What else have we got going on here? Get all your comments in, people. McTominay only plays because of height. He's not good. He wasn't horrendous. He wasn't horrendous, was he? But I do understand what you mean. He isn't our best midfielder right now. I think he would accept being a squad player or coming in for the odd game. That's the thing with McTominay. He knows his role, I think, and he knows he's in a team that have players who are a lot better than him, and therefore he will accept that he is going to just come in for the odd game when players need a rest, and he will give us that energy and strength when we need it. So I'm still for keeping McTominay and Fred. I just think we need to utilise... We've got a conundrum, and Ollie's got a conundrum with the creative players. You know, we've got tenacious Bruno, who cannot be dropped. Pogba, then Van de Beek. That's the big one for me right now, because Pogba came on today, and again, coming off the bench, he looked great. Absolutely looked great. What's Jacob saying? Jacob Quigg, Leicester fan, but Luke Shaw is England's best left back. He's class. I wouldn't go that far, mate. And I know there's a lot of United fans who probably wouldn't go that far either, but you know what? He had a shaky start, but got better like all the defence today. Really, I mean, it was a flailing leg. You can't blame him too much for the own goal, but it was just one of them, wasn't it? He could only get better from that point, and luckily for us, he was solid, and he looked all right going forward today. He's another one who had a shot on target. I think every defender had a shot on target today, apart from Lindelof. I think we've got to look at it. We go, Fred had a shot, McTominay had a shot, nearly every player had a goal, had an effort on goal today, and the whole team. You had 2 players who didn't have an effort on goal was De Gea and Lindelof. That's saying something. That's a dominant performance. As people are saying there, Dave Martin says, King Cantona first says, Donny, typical Dutch player. He doesn't need pace. He has an excellent technical brain. Very good point. And then you've got the likes of, I want to see Tellers play. Matt Tellers didn't even get on the pitch. So you know what? We've got a few options there. Aiden Rashford looks sharper. He's getting back, mate. Always back Rashford, mate. I always back Rashford. People know it. I criticise him when he needs it. A goal and 2 assists tonight. I mean, you cannot argue with that for a performance. He hit the target twice before that as well. And you know what? His industry today helped this team massively. His energy up front and his touch and his link-up play. I think having Juan Mata and Bruno around him definitely suited him, because he knew he didn't have to think twice about which way he was going. He knew that them players were going to pick him out, and that's what we get when we've got the likes of Bruno and Mata on the pitch. It could have easily been Bruno and Van de Beek or a Pogba. So you've got to be able to win. If Mata can play on that right hand side and switch in between. Oh, damn it. COVID, no chance. If Mata can play on that right hand side, why can't a Van de Beek or why can't a Pogba? They're just exactly the same but with more energy. I just think in general team looks fitter, great sign. Yeah, I think it does, mate. It does. Coming back from international break, I was not expecting that. Newcastle looked a bit more shocked, didn't he, as well? So, yeah, big, well chuffed with the way the team looked in terms of fitness, seeing that all the way through as well. Because, you know what, your head can drop having had all that play and nothing come out of it. Because, like I said, the keeper was having a worlder. He really was. I think Bruno should have had an hat-trick. His goal should have stood if Mata was a little bit more aware. And he should have scored his penalty. Well, we say he should have. That's because he scored 19 in a row or something like that. I had missed a game and I just got home. Give me some of the highlights of what happened during the game. I'll tell you exactly what happened during the game, mate. Bruno and Mata ran the show. Mata, touch of class where he needed to be. Bruno, energetic, missed the penalty, had a goal conceded, scored a goal, scored the winner, absolutely bossed it. We just put on our workman-like players, McTominay and Fred starting, and then we just rolled on the cavalry at the end and absolutely ripped them to pieces. And Newcastle was shot. They had nothing apart from that lucky deflected own goal from Shaw and a great save from Wilson that De Gea made. They did nothing, mate. Like I said, the most shots by any team in the Premier League this season, Manchester United against Newcastle. And like I said, every player in our team had a shot on goal apart from De Gea and Lindelof. I don't need to say much more in terms of how dominant we were in that game, and it was good to see. Everton not got Rom, thank God. Everton not got Rom, thank God. I'm not sure where you're going with that one, mate. I mean, I don't know if you mean Rom, as in not Lukaku. You can't mean Lukaku. I mean, do you mean? Oh God, can't forget his name. Richarlison got sent off for Everton today. If that was a straight red, I think that means he misses our game, which is good for us. Having just Calvert-Lewin to deal with up front and not him as well is a plus, definitely. So I don't know if you mean that, but Rom, don't know what you mean. But 213 watching, yes, that's quality, mate. It is for this time of night with everyone else doing their thing as well. Thanks for standing by the channel, people, as well. I'll talk more about what's happened with certain other channels tomorrow night on the podcast live, 7 o'clock, people. And if you are and do want to support the channel, just drop down, press the join button, become a member, just a little bit. Every contribution is more than welcome, but I am giving back. There's retro shirt giveaway, which will be announced tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. A little competition for the members of the channel, so I am giving back. It's not thankless money, it's just loving the support that you're giving me now that I've gone out on my own. I will talk about more of that tomorrow on the live podcast. I'm not on any other channel anymore or tied to any other channels. I'm just doing my own thing, mixing, working with different influencers, collabing with different stations, different channels, and you know what? Your support is what's needed in that, and you've always been there and you've always backed me, so I just want to say a massive thank you for all the subscribers and the members who have joined on to the team. It's been a long road, and we've been going just over 18 months on this channel now, and we're growing stronger and stronger, so the support has been fantastic. Just wanted to get that in there while there was a few people on as well, so cheers. I'll talk about that more tomorrow in terms of what's going and how we're moving forward with things, so yeah, do stay tuned tomorrow. And if you do want to get behind the channel, hit that join button on the membership. It's just next to the subscribe button, and do what you want. It doesn't matter to me. All your support is welcome either way. It really doesn't, but I'm loving it and trying to get as many people involved as always, changing the panel on the podcast every Sunday and mixing with quite a few other people now as well, so do stay tuned for tomorrow's show. I will talk more about that then. Dan is the latest member of it. Adam, this channel will grow big because you are genuine and give great opinions. I couldn't have said that any better myself. And there obviously are haters out there, but I love them too, because they're what makes it. Anyway, yes. What else are we talking about today? Standout performers, we've already gone over. I can't really go into critique because we won 4-1 and it should have been more. Maybe we could have been a bit more clinical. I think I tweeted out, I said we need to be clinical in the second half. At half time this was, because we'll get punished. And we nearly did with that one save from Wilson that De Gea made. That was massive for us at that time. That could have been a real head drop moment. So big up De Gea. I've given him his stick and he deserved it. But I'm not one of them people who's just going to back myself up. Like you said then, I'm genuine and I'll say it as it is every single game. I do have players that I like and I like the way they play, but if they play bad, I'll call them out. It's as simple as that. And when players who I don't think have been pulling the weight or needed dropping, in my words, I'm not hiding away from it. If they need praise from a performance, they're going to get it. I thought De Gea was at fault for the first goal. I thought he could have been a bit sharper. But my God, he pulled us out the crap in the second half. So massive big up for De Gea for that save. That was world class. Simple as. Let's see. Yellow bathing suit in Renault 1. Happy for your success. Bigger things to come for you, Adam. Oh, I hope so, mate. I hope so. I've got plenty planned and plenty coming up. Definitely, mate. So, yeah. Hoping for bigger things and hoping to grow as big as I possibly can. And taking all you lot along the ride with me. So, it's a long season ahead. So, we've got a long way to go. I wonder where we'll be come the end of the season, subscriber wise. That'll be interesting. I think we're just under 17,000 now, so it's going strength to strength. Let's see what else we got. Bruno, man of the match. He was my man of the match, but I do understand people who are shouting out Mata for his contribution as well. Harry Maguire, just for the circumstances and how he played. I know he had two headers on target today. That's the Harry Maguire. He came forward and had a shot from outside the box. That's the Harry Maguire I remember coming to us in the semi-final with Hull and absolutely tearing us a new one. So, you know what? Oh, massive. Well chuffed for a lot of players tonight. And like I said it before, I'll keep saying it again, that I'm not getting carried away, but this can be big for players in terms of confidence boosting. I'm not forgetting about what's coming this week, and I know how different things may look by the end of this week. But, you know, for now, I'm just going to stay happy with that game tonight. Gutted you're not on United Stand anymore. Voice of reason, mate, and good banter, humour and good analysis. All the best, mate. Mate, thank you very much, Tom, mate. Things happen, mate, don't they? Things happen. Everyone moves on in time. Nothing stays the same forever. Nothing lasts forever. That's what it is. So, yeah, just a massive thank you again for the support. Harry Maguire was superb. He was, mate. He was excellent. Cheers, mate. Cheers to you too, Rob, mate. Oh, we got a Rashford man of the match here now. Joshua Lewis, Rashford man of the match. He was very direct this game. It's the Rashford of old. You know what? There's a few people who were players of old tonight. It's like that. It's just like that international break. They've all just had time to contemplate. Yellow bathing suit. How is Bruno man of the match? Rashford looked like he ran the show from these highlights I'm watching. Yeah, Rashford was involved a lot, mate. But Bruno, if you watch the whole game, you know why I picked Bruno. And some people who I agree with as well, who were picking Juan Mata for his industry in the game as well, definitely deserved a shout. But Rashford was superb as well, mate. He really was. We'll keep following this channel. Cheers, Tom, mate. Thank you very much. All support is much appreciated as always. Danny 906. James was useless. Rashford has to be man of the match. Rashford, you know what? When you look at it, any goals, he grabs his goals, gets 2 assists, hits the target about 4 times. It's hard to disagree. I just picked Bruno because, you know what? He could have dropped after missing that penalty, but he kept going. And the energy in that man is unreal. The thing is, when all these chips are down, I've started to notice this now. He picks the players that will run themselves into the ground, and you look at it and you go, Rashford, yes, he will. He'll run down blind alleys. Sometimes ill-advised, I'll admit that. And I would go, Bruno runs more than anyone. I think his miles are more than anyone else. McTominay will do whatever you tell him to do. Fred will never stop. James will just keep running and running and running, even though he's not got an end product for us at the moment. He will just keep running. And you know, he's just filled the team there. Mata will just do what Mata does. And you know what, in the end of it, out of all that running and running, when Mata's got runners around him and people who do the running for him, then he's probably good. That's probably the game that he suits. When you've got all the world-class players around him, he's probably not as effective, to be honest, Mata. But that's just the way I see it. But that's how I see it. This, like I said before, this was exactly the same as the Carabao Cup game. Ollie just put on the workmanship, stayed in the game, and then just rolled out the big guns and inevitably finished them off in the end. It's what it was. Let's see what we got. What's Ollie's obsession with McTominay? Fred should have stayed on, not Scotty. Ollie has his favourites, don't he? We know this, Kelly. We spoke about this on social media, didn't we? It was a case of he can't pick Maguire tonight, but he did. You know what I mean? I said don't pick Maguire because if he's got a knock, he could destroy the guy's career. He's already at an all-time low. And you know what? In the end, it turned out that he was fit. Was that just a load of deflection tactics from Ollie, saying that he had a knock? Could well be. CJ Socials presents Touchline Talks. That's a mouthful, mate. Bruno definitely man of the match. Rashford just did the simple things today. Pass when he was meant to instead of shooting. You know what? He had a few shots as well, mate. Let's not forget. I think he had about 5 shots. So I just think... Is that CJ? Is that CJ from the pub, by the way, CJ? Just give me a shout back on that one, mate. Just don't get my names mixed up. But yeah, I can't fault Rashford's game today. I can't fault it. There were times when you looked like he was going to shoot and he passed it instead. He got us the penalty as well. Don't forget that. He won us the penalty. his involvement in the game was immense and was right up there. Longest username ever, 100%. It is the longest username ever. But yeah, we're not going to forget that one, CJ, mate. Cantona, I live around the corner from Andy Cole's parents. If I see them, I'll ask them to try and get Andy Cole on your show if Boris lets me out of my house. Yes, I love that, mate. That's quality. King Cantona was the winner of the last prize giveaway as well, people. He's the one who won the Black United shirts. CJ Socials presenting Touchline Talks is back. It is CJ from the pub, people. It is. CJ, hope you enjoyed that, mate. It's definitely a better drinking session than the last few times we've spoke, mate. But have one for me as well, mate, because I'm trying to stay quiet because the kids are in bed. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's hard when United win the game, but you just got to try and curb it when there's people trying to sleep. Because what time is it here now? Yeah, it's just coming up to 11 o'clock at night, yeah. The players that needed to show up did today. I totally agree, mate. Totally agree. Hey up, Adam. All right, mate. In terms of what you said there, Daniel, mate, I think the players that we needed... let me see. The players that needed to show up showed up, but the players that needed a performance, more importantly, got a performance. You know what? Big confidence boosters for a lot. Rashford, Maguire, De Gea even, Wan-Bissaka. You know what I mean? Luke Shaw came back from a shocking start and a shocking performance last week. Absolute quality. Possible to join the membership on your channel. 100% Tom, mate. If you just flick up onto my main page, you'll see a join button. If you just click on that there, mate, you should pop up on the messages and the comments here, mate, as the latest member. Anyone else who does want to join as well, just follow what I just said there. But Tom, yeah, if you do go onto my main channel page, you'll see a join button. Should be near the subscriber box. Just give that a click and you're in, mate. Choose which one you want to do and away you fly. Daniel Luciano has been sending me super chats and memberships all day. It's only right to get the guy on as well just before we finish up.
Oh my God,
Daniel.
I didn't expect you to take it.
No, mate, I would never turn a member down. That's part of the perks, mate. Anyone who does want to come on and have a chat who is in the member section as well, always welcome, guys. It's part of the perks of the channel. But, I mean, Daniel, mate, you pointed it out then. I just said it out on your super chat then, mate. The players that we wanted, the players that needed a performance, they got it today, mate. Big time.
Oh, yeah, I think the biggest thing that we saw from the first 3 games is we didn't look warmed up. We didn't look like we were in shape or anything. And I feel like at the end, those last 20 minutes, Newcastle looked really tired. We actually looked like we still had energy to give. And that's with players like Mata. Like, we had so many center attacking mids on the field at the same time.
Yeah, mate, it's like every time we got the chance to break, we had a link, we had the right setup. We had a Bruno picking it up off of Fred, releasing it to Mata, who was just drifting into space, and then we had the industry and pace of Rashford, who was just dominating and destroying their backline. Honestly, mate, I didn't expect Newcastle to be that bad either. I was fearing it because of the players they bought and the vibe that was going around, but I did have Matty on from Magpie TV, and he was saying they hate Steve Bruce. And you know what, after that, and the players that he brought in the summer, I can see why, mate. I really can. Shout out to Tom. You figured it out, Tom, mate. He is the latest member of the channel. Welcome on board, my friend. You did it. Top man, Tom. But yeah, I mean, Dan, mate, I mean, the Newcastle fans have probably got good reason, actually, mate, haven't they, to be talking that way, because Newcastle were poor.
Oh, it made me think of...
hold it. Breaking news. CJ Socials presenting Touchline Talks is now a member. He had to do it just so I said that name again. But CJ, you are the man, mate. Make sure...
a long name.
Yeah, make sure you have a drink for me, mate, because I know you're down in Guinness right now, pal. So have one for me, CJ, mate. Top man. Thanks for the contribution, my friend. Yeah, I mean, Newcastle poor, mate, but we made the most of their... Oh, mate, they were inept today, mate. They were shocking.
It just looked like St. Max. Like, it looked like in basketball when you have that one really good player that can, like, take over. That's what it was. Like, they had no offense going forward except for St. Maximum.
That was it, mate. And you could tell I mean, he had the strapping on his leg. I seen that. He had his little warm up, his fitness test at the start of the game, and you always had a thinking, you know what? Maybe are they just desperate to play him? Does he have to play because he's their only outlet, like you said? I was surprised that Andy Carroll didn't come on and didn't go direct. I mean, that was an obvious ploy that they could have put in there, mate, because you know what? They weren't able to pass through our midfield, so route one probably would have been an option, especially with our centre-backs and the form they were on. I thought Brucey missed a trick.
Oh, 100%, especially with Lindelof. Anytime you can do a threat in the air with Lindelof on the field, it just seems obvious to me.
It does, mate. I mean, Daniel, man of the match for you, mate. Who was it today for you, mate? Who was the standout player?
I saw the Rashford thing, and I get it, I guess, if you're watching highlights. But if you watch the whole game, like Bruno Fernandes, outside of even offensive stats, he made at least 3 to 4 tackles today that changed like the game. So it has to be Bruno Fernandes. He had a complete game and made up for that penalty miss, which we haven't seen.
It was so funny, mate. A guy literally just sent me a message from one of my tweets on Twitter. He just said, everything breaks down when Bruno gets the ball. And 2 minutes later, bang, in goes the winner. I was like, oh, yes.
You can't doubt him. You can't doubt him like that. It'll come through.
No, it's not right. It's not right. Mr. Dan United, shout out to Daniel Luciano. Daniel is part of the members as well, people. So shout out. The community is growing and it's growing quick. You guys are amazing. Dan, you're going to be in the... I hope you're watching tomorrow, mate, because big chance to get a retro shirt with your name on it tomorrow, pal.
Oh, of course. That's the dream. That's the dream.
It's going to be... there'll be a question... Oh, I'm going to talk about it more tomorrow. I keep going off topic completely because I just got a load of them delivered to me as well. So, yeah, I'm well chuffed. I'll be sporting the one that's on offer tomorrow on the live show as well. So you'll all see exactly what you're going in for. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. Thoughts on Sir Maximum? Unfit. Didn't look like he was ready, Joshua, mate. That's how I seen that today. He really was not. He had them few sparks in the first half when he was sort of taking the pressure off the defence. But in an attacking third, I didn't really see him do anything, Dan, mate. Defensively, we looked like we had it made today.
I did see him absolutely weaving and making our midfield and defense look like they're irrelevant. But it was to no end. It was to no end. Like it was, like you said, like in his own half. So nothing came of it.
Yeah. Comment of the night is just coming up on your screen now. Mate, King Cantona, this guy is an absolute legend. He talks to me on socials all the time as well. But his wife messaged me saying that I just made his day when he won the shirt. And you know what? There's nothing more alike than people getting in touch and just saying how much they love the channel and stuff. But mate, King Cantona, mate, you are a legend of this channel, mate. Already. You really are. Can you win 2 in a row? Oh, I don't know, mate. There's a question involved in this one, and it's first come, first served, so there's a bit of a twist to it. Let's see if people's knowledge is right up there. Anyway, top comment, mate. Let's see. Lil United, this guy's been here from the start. Adam, I don't have credit card for me. Don't have T-shirt. Didn't quite make sense. Sort of get where you're going with that one, Lil, mate. But I think you're that excited. There's a few typos in there, buddy, as well, mate.
I'm an English teacher, and I couldn't make sense of that.
Lockdown keeps my wife out the room. King Cantona set the ball rolling here with Mrs. Seriously. Didn't the guy get a new 6-year contract? He did. I think he will be better through the season, mate, Sam Maximum. But I'm not even bothered about that. I mean, here's one for you, actually, mate. Hey, Adam. No. Donny van der Beek. Yes, Donny van der Beek. Yeah, that. You know what? I was just gutted that we're not actually in the stadiums to see this. But was it you before, Daniel, who said about Lingard?
Yes, that was me harassing you about Lingard.
Yes, I understand where you're coming from for that. But I think when I answered it at the time, and this rolls me into the next bit, actually, in terms of how we look at it going forward now, because the players that we were missing tonight was the most positive thing I took out of this game. I took more pleasure in not having Matic, Pogba, Van der Beek, Cavani, Martial, Greenwood anywhere near that team and be so dominant. That's what I took away from that game. That was my biggest boost from that game. And individual performances aside, has to be the biggest positive of the day because you know what? It looks like we've got a second option for the smaller games. And you know what? When we've got these big Champions League games coming, mate, this is what sometimes is going to happen.
That's 100% right in terms of it having to happen, in terms of rest. But like we've been saying, without preseason, I was thinking that we're in a position where we had to play players to like get that time on the field. But we can't put out the same team when we lost 6-1. Like, we can't do that. We can't put out that same squad. I just think that with that being said, in that different team, I still think we need to analyze how players did. And for me, Dan James was putting himself in great positions, but never did anything with it, whether it was a pass or a shot.
That's the thing. I seen that one P-roller that he laid into the goalkeeper, into Darlow in the first half there, and he looked at it like he'd done his job, and it was good. It's like, no, standards need to be higher, mate. You need to, you did everything else right. Just, it's that final product, mate. I want him to do really well, but sometimes I'm looking at that bench, like I just said, there's a chance for him tonight there, mate. Really was. And I'm looking at the players that are due to come back, and I'm going, Dan, mate, you're not getting back in this team. You're just not, because he's not going to drop Greenwood. Martial's going to come straight back in. Cavani's going to cause a problem. Tellez coming in. Oh, mate, there's a big squad there. And I said it at the start, I'm not getting carried away. It is Newcastle. We will probably get brought back down to earth against PSG, because they are a different league completely. But just quickly, mate, before we finish up, I mean, how do you see that game going down? I mean, what changes would you make for that PSG game in the week, mate? Would you go a bit more defensive?
Absolutely not, because that's what they're going to be expecting. Like, they're not going to have Icardi, which doesn't really make a difference for us in terms of like a threat. They're still going to be fast and absolutely talented. So for me, I would still go completely offensive, play our best team. I would maybe, because we have seen Pogba come in and make an impact, start Van der Beek, who's used to the Champions League, who's used to playing against top-class teams, and that would be my only change.
Yeah, Yellow Bathing Suit there says these guys better turn up for PSG or else winning won't mean much. I mean, the win means a lot for us just simply because, I mean, what points are Liverpool on now? Are they on, what have they got? I can't even remember what they've got now. I think they've got about 7, is it?
Yeah.
It's 7 points, and we've got 6, and I'm sure we've got a game in. Have we got a game in hand?
Oh yeah, we have a game in hand with almost all the teams in the entire league.
Yeah, we do. It's like, I think we're not a million miles behind a lot of the teams at the moment. I mean, that game in hand against Burnley, oh God, the way they're going, I wish we did have that game early doors. But yeah, Rick just pulled up my point exactly there, mate. He says there, we didn't miss Martial. Massive. Huge, huge for this football club that we did not have Martial today, and we won so convincingly. That's what I'm looking for. We can't rely on that 11 players anymore. Everyone has to start stepping up. Daniel James is only good on FIFA as a super sub with his pace. Why isn't Ollie starting Van der Beek? We touched on that before, CJ, mate. Van der Beek needs a game. Maybe this Champions League game is his level, where we need that bit of extra quality on the pitch. And you know what? I just don't see harassment of the players like in the Premier League is going to be the same in the Champions League. We know what the refs are like. I think we need our clever players on the park for that PSG game. We need the what Mourinho would call the horrible players, the ones who will just take a bit of a tackle and go down, win you, kill a bit of time. You know what? Van der Beek, probably one of them. Pogba's probably one of them. What system can we play with them two in the team? Well, that's what hurts. And you know what? Cavani will be available. Martial will be available. Maybe Greenwood will be back. If anything, we're going to have a pretty strong squad going into it, Daniel, mate. So, you know, we can try and be a little bit positive with it, mate. It is going to be a horrible game to watch. We're not going to get as much of the ball. But maybe that'll play into our advantage.
If we have Martial and that speed up front, I think that will 100% play to our advantage. I wanted to ask you something. In terms of what you were saying about playing like this backup squad of it to RA and still being able to win, is it okay that our formation drastically changes when we do that?
This is what he has to learn, mate, doesn't it? I think he finds it easier to play a system for his second string than he does all his best team, his first team. He does find it It just seems to come easy to him. And you know what? Our best performances this season, I'd say, Brighton away in the Carabao Cup, and then tonight. And none of them have been with our best team. None. On paper, what our best team was. And I've discussed this with Saeed. We talked in detail about it the other night, and it was just a case of, you know what, sometimes you have to play the best team, not the best players. And it's not always a case of playing the superstars. And tonight proved that. And you can do this in certain games. This is what he's going to have to do to survive, I think, because he's going to have to say, look, this is my squad. Go and make a decision difficult for me by putting in a performance tonight. Give me an headache. He's going to have to, because tonight I've seen it for the first time. The work rate tonight was as high as I've seen it all season. Highest I've seen it for a long time, actually. And it just looked like you said, mate. It said it looked like they were fitter. They looked sharper, and they looked like they were ready for fighting. And that is good to see. See the reserve manager in him. Said it. Anyway, people, that is it for tonight. I'm going to go and get some sleep. I'm going to go and have a comfortable sleep and not be stressed about it. But like I said, I will be back tomorrow. Yes. Calm podcast tomorrow with the gang. I'm mixing it up with who's on tomorrow's show. So do stay tuned for that one, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The competition information will be out in detail. I will talk a bit more about where I'm going with the channel now that things have all changed elsewhere. I'll get into some detail on that and what I'm doing and what's ahead. And we look forward to a massive game on Tuesday, and we'll get everyone's opinions on that as well. I'm sure Dan will be around as well tomorrow night, tuning in. Oh, we got the full gang on again tomorrow. It should be fun. Anyway, people, we've won. We have won a game finally, and hopefully this is the start of a little bit of a rebuild going forward. But everyone, all the new members, all the super chats, all the comments, everyone staying in, sticking with me while everyone else's stuff is still going on. You know this is the best channel. Stick with it. Anyway, people, do give the video a share, give it a like, and subscribe if you are watching for the first time. I will see you tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Take care, people. Enjoy your evening. Even